So my goal here is to provide as many Jews as possible with the skills necessary to be able to carry a firearm and effectively respond if, God forbid, another incident like this occurs, because I'm sure it will. Hold on, not yet, not until they come back. Like I said, for the next round, I'd like to use mine because I have the red dot. Yep, let go. All right, take your safety off. So the reality is, anyone who thinks that guns don't belong in our society is living in a fantasy world. Anyone who thinks that guns don't belong in synagogues, don't belong in churches or other houses of worship, are seriously delusional. And that delusion is dangerous. It is a very dangerous delusion, and we cannot afford to allow these sorts of idiotic and dangerous ideologies to corrupt us into believing that we are safe without firearms, because we certainly are not. Okay. Is it a good gun to shoot? It's heavy. Okay. And then give it a tap. All right, guys, cock your weapon. All right. Now, after the Pittsburgh massacre, it pushed me over the top and say, you know, this is a little bit that I can do to contribute to society as a whole, to protect and arm ourselves in our synagogues, so that we should be able to defend ourselves in the event that that such an occurrence occurs, since it's our new reality. And that's what the Pittsburgh disaster really opened us up to, the fact that yes, this is reality. We're at war, and now we're here, and we have the opportunity and the right to arm ourselves.
In the wake of recent events, I felt it was necessary and appropriate to take steps towards being able to defend myself and, if necessary, under unfortunate circumstances, others as well.
I feel that I am empowering regular Jewish Americans to be able to defend themselves and overcome that fear, because fear comes out of a lack of certitude as to what's going to happen. But if you can rely on your own training to defend yourself and defend your community, you're not going to be uncertain as to what's going to be. You're going to know that if the worst happens and an evil armed person who wishes harm to your community is going to come into your synagogue and draw a weapon, that you will have the proficiency to be able to neutralize him. My fingers on the pistol grip. Switch your magazines. I believe that the proposal by President Trump to arm churches, synagogues, houses of worship is a very wise one.
I hopefully will never have to do this. I try not to play such scenarios in my head. Although, if you know, it can be anything. It can be walking down the street. It can be at a synagogue. It can be at a school. It can be at anything. Anytime in a situation where there's people out there to harm other people, I'd like to be ready. Doesn't mean I'm the perfect guy for that. I don't know if I'm the hero type of guy. I'm not at all. I just want to be ready just in case and do the best that I can do if I'm ever in such a situation.
First weapon she ever fires is completely illegal in the state.
Has anybody taken this one yet? When I see Jews who are proudly Jewish, sporting yarmulkes and tzitzit, which is four-cornered garments, and skull caps and beards, when I see them training with firearms, it really touches my heart. It gives me hope, because I realize that these people are going to be going out to their synagogues, and they're going to be that first line of defense. They are going to be creating an armed barrier between an anti-Semitic killer and the congregation. So it really gives me a deep form of satisfaction to know that I'm doing something meaningful in this world in creating positive change to make our communities better armed and better prepared to respond to these terrorist threats, which are now facing all of our communities all over the United States.